Wildfires in British Columbia's Okanagan region have burned hundreds of properties, including many homes. The out-of-control fires are now edging closer to more communities, with an estimated 7,000 residents on evacuation alert. And the weather is providing little relief, with intense heat and no rain in the forecast for the rest of the week. So as we've been mentioning, many residents have already had to evacuate the fire zone, leaving their homes and all their belongings behind. And that includes my next guest, Denise Harper. She is a Bradley Creek wildfire evacuee and is sheltering with her husband and dog in a parking lot in Vernon, BC. Denise, thank you so much for joining us today.
My pleasure, Arthi.
You know, first I want you, if you can, to take us back to the moment when you learned that you needed to leave and fast. Where were you and how did you make it all happen?
Well, prior to that, out of a sense of disbelief, but caution, an abundance of caution, we'd packed up our things and then we'd headed to a big 60th birthday party in downtown Vernon. And suddenly, in the middle of the party, we got an evacuation alert. And so we quickly packed up our stuff and headed home about 20 minutes from the location of the party. And by that time, the alert had turned into an order, and we had to evacuate immediately.
What did you get a chance to collect, if anything, of yours as you left?
Well, no groceries. I managed to collect three rings that mean a lot to me, and a few clothes, and my dog, and that was it.
My goodness, as you reflect on that now, and of course it's still going on, I mean, what goes through your mind?
I just am anxious to get back home, just to return to normalcy. This is the longest I've ever been evacuated. This is the fourth time I've been evacuated. 3 times in this location and 1 elsewhere. And I don't have the sense of dis-ease that I had the first time, but just a weariness, and your mind gets a little foggy and you get a little emotional sometimes.
What do you know at this stage about properties in your area?
Well, in my particular community, it's called Desert Cove Estates. It's just outside the city boundaries, off of Highway 97, and we are on lease land from the Okanagan Indian Band. Our own community is fine. It's been unscathed. We're sort of a little separate, and so not as close to the trees and things that other homes are along West Side Road.
You mentioned that you've had to leave your home on 4 occasions in the past several years. I'm wondering whether or not the situation has intensified when you consider how you've been living. And we know that wildfires happen in British Columbia annually, but does it feel like it has intensified?
Oh, it has definitely intensified. This fire shocked us. As we were driving out of our community, there were flames already down at the bottom of the hill. In previous evacuations, they remained sort of up on the bridge of the hill and didn't come down near the dwellings at my end of the West Side Road. And so it was greater intensity, and the rapidity with which it moved so quickly from the morning to the late afternoon, it is shocking and frightening.
Now, as you've described that scene so vividly, and certainly there are so many others who experienced it along with you who were forced to leave their homes. Mm-hmm. Are you all now seeking shelter in a parking lot? Is that sort of the situation as it's unfolded? Because it seemed to have happened very fast.
Well, initially, we were all sort of huddled down in the parking lot, but over time, some individuals have found places to go. And certainly some of my members went to their family in various communities, from Kamloops to Penticton to Salmon Arm. But many of us are still here. And so we're forming a little Desert Cove community and just hunkering down.
I mean, what sort of resources would you need right now? Is there support for this community, this Desert Cove community that has formed in the parking lot?
Well, the community has stepped up. When we got back we went out to dinner last night, and when we got back, there was a box of foodstuff. And I think it was the Rotary Club that had organized that. The Salvation Army and just volunteers have been around. I'm a celiac and allergic to dairy, so I'm pretty limited to what offerings I can accept, but we're grateful for any offerings people give us. We've got water. The local Culligan Water Soft Company gave us some water yesterday, and there's all kinds of bottles of water around. We managed to find 2 electrical outlets in the whole parking lot, and we're sort of sharing them among us to cool down or to get our refrigerators cold. I mean, the situation for so many people is so dire, and we're very lucky that we have these trailers and recreational vehicles that we can use. However, they're also a bit of an albatross, because I had many offers from people that, you can use our spare bedroom, but we don't want to leave our trailers sitting out in the middle of a parking lot in downtown Vernon. So we're kind of stuck here, but we're making the best of it, and people are helping out.
And often these sort of shared experiences of trauma brings out the strength in a group that is forced to share that time together. I'm wondering finally if you can share with me any of the stories or any of the experiences that you are sharing together as, of course, all of you support one another.
There's some amazing stories. We are a community primarily of seniors. I'd say our average age is probably early 70s, mid 70s, but we have many older, and some with varying degrees of health issues. And one of our neighbors in the community was asked to look out for someone's father. She lives in Vancouver, and she was worried about him. And so he picked him up, looked after him overnight, and then drove him on Sunday morning to Vancouver to be with his daughter, because it was the best place for him. And just other people doing kind things. I watched the fellow in the trailer next to me, who's also a neighbor in Desert Cove, speaking with people in a little car, and then he dug into his pocket and handed them some money, and he handed them some food, because they had been evacuated while visiting friends on up along West Side Road, closer to the center of the fire, and they were from Williams Lake and not able to get any emergency help, and they just needed to get home. So he gave them gas money and some food. Those kind of things, just the kindness of strangers.
And certainly that is wonderful to see. And of course, I'm sure just warms people who are in these desperate situations as well. Denise, I want to thank you so much for sharing your experience with our viewers today.
It's my pleasure. Hopefully we can find a way to reduce the likelihood of these fires in coming years.
Certainly, that would be important. Thank you so much for your time today. We appreciate it. That was Bradley Creek wildfire evacuee Denise Harper. She joined us today from Vernon, BC. Thanks again.